because we are so back with the final preliminary tournament race. Let's see it. We have 7 viewpoints to look at, and I think out of everybody here, this being the final race, there's only so many points left on the table for these players to make it into the final bracket and to place well into the final bracket. So with that in mind, I want to try and focus in on Ren. Renontrol is somebody who I think out of total point values has the most to gain here, because right now he's sitting at 32 total points for making it into the final bracket. And with that in mind, I believe he has a total of, there's 34 points for Durdrak. Durdrak has 34 points total. So Ren just needs 2 more points to get first place, first seed here. And I believe Ren has 4 total points on the table to possibly win here, where Durdrak only has 3 possible points on the table to win here. If Durdrak gets first place, he'll get 3 extra points, where because Ren did worse in the first Chimera race, he has more points on the table. It's a little confusing. If you looked at the tournament document, it kind of makes more sense, because we're only counting the best placements per preset. And since we've already seen a Chimera preset race previously, this gives players who did poorly in the first one a chance to make up for it, essentially. We're also seeing a wide variety of routes, like I said previously, and Ren, I think, is getting rewarded for that early library card. Enters the first castle. The way that this tournament works is every player is going to be starting in the second castle at the start of the race, so using a library card to get back to the first castle is a little bit risky. It can be, at least. But Ren does get rewarded for the early form of Mist in his inventory. Meanwhile, we have people like Durdrak off to the side, still killing Medusa. We have Crazy Four Blades here in the bottom right-hand corner, also using a library card. We have Motzilla here in the middle, left side, staying in the second castle. Same with Caesar, and same with Alex. So a couple different routing options we're seeing so far. We see Sestrin with an early death here, but again, getting back into the action doesn't take too long, because there is no prologue segment. You basically just start right back at the start of the game. Oh, whose audio am I listening to now? Oh, Sestrin's audio just started for no reason. I don't know why. Shoutouts to Multistream, the website. Oh, Ren did a early check with the thrust sword. Yeah, them starting with the Claymore. We did talk about this a little bit earlier. Those thrust swords are very, very important for additional out-of-logic progression. The way that it works is there are certain swords in the game where if you press back, forward, and then the attack button, that attack combo does a thrusting attack mid-air, which you can use to both maintain your height or to give yourself an additional dive kick mid-air. And you can combine that with different transformations to actually gain height earlier than intended. Speaking of earlier than intended, I think Durdrak might have won out pretty big here, because we're seeing on Durdrak's side of the screen here. I'm going to move some over. Durdrak already has all the wolf relics. The way that this works, this Chimera preset, is that it's a chimera of other popular randomizer presets, one of which is the Lycanthrope preset. That preset gives you all of the wolf movement and abilities at the very start of the run. This preset will do that as well, but if you find the Soul of Wolf. So it looks like Durdrak found Soul of Wolf, which gives him additional movement options early game, which is really nice. The other thing that he found was the Leapstone. So staying in the second castle so far has seemed to pay off for Durdrak, because he's going to get to the first castle if he decides to go right now. He has Leapstone and he has Soul of Wolf in his inventory, or already collected, which is very, very strong. Whereas other players who did the early library card might be missing out on Wolf and Leapstone for quite a while. So yeah, right now, I think most everybody else's placements are for the most part locked in. So Ren really wants a first place here. That gives him 4 total points. Durdrak wants first place and would give him 3 total points. And him being in first place, this essentially, if Durdrak gets first place here, I think he's guaranteed first place in the overall bracket, starting in the bracket as the first seed. So it's kind of a fight for whoever gets the first seed here into the final bracket. Crazy Four Blades as well, sitting at 31 points total with how many to possibly win? With a total of 3 points on the table to win? Oh, Durdrak only has 2 points available to him. Oh, okay. So Durdrak has to win this race, actually, to guarantee his first place. Because if Durdrak gets first place, he gets 2 points, and that keeps Ren away from getting 4 points. Yes, the math works out that way. So essentially, if Durdrak wants to guarantee that he gets first in the final bracket, starting in the final bracket, he has to win this race. Crazy Four Blades can win up to 4 points total, I think. Or 3 points total? I forget how this works. My math isn't mathing. Anyways. Long story short, Durdrak wants to win to possibly get first place. Ren wants to win to possibly get first place. And I think Crazy might have an outside field shot of getting first place as well if he wins this race. I think everybody else's placements are pretty much locked in stone here. So if you want people to follow to see how they're doing for the storyline of the tournament, Durdrak here, Crazy Four Blades here, and Ren here. These three are the ones that are fighting for their life to possibly get first place into the final bracket for the 1v1 sections. And generally getting first place into the final bracket means that you have the best seed placement. It means that you are going to be playing against the 8th seed. So whoever did the worst overall. So it's generally considered a comfier spot in the bracket. Durdrak got glasses. Holy. Also, did we see a flea ladder somewhere? Am I making that up? Who got the flea ladder? I saw one out of the corner of my eye. We didn't get a chance to explain flea ladder, but essentially, it's a difficult and pretty finicky and RNG advanced tech where you dive kick off of the flea riders in the castle keep. If they line up in just the right way, you can keep dive kicking off of them one after the other. It has to be Durdrak to get, because he's the only one with Leapstone, obviously. But yeah, you keep dive kicking off of them, and eventually you can make it up to the spot where Power of Mist normally is. Speaking of Power of Mist, by the way, it seems like the intended form of flight for this seed is Mist and Power of Mist. We already see Ren and Crazy Four Blades with it in their inventory. So Durdrak getting that early Leapstone might not end up mattering too much as far as like total progression goes, but the Wolf, as you can see, like look at this movement, can move so much faster horizontally than just like normal shield dashing or, you know, back dashing. And we're also seeing some Vlad relics acquired. Ren has 2 Vlad relics in his inventory. Crazy with 1 in his inventory. It looks like Alchemy Lab had 2 different Vlad relics. Alchemy Lab is one of those locations where some players will opt to skip it or save it for later. So we'll see if that Alchemy Lab checks end up coming up or not. I'm not going to lie. I hope nobody finds this to be in poor taste, but because I think the most important storyline here is the placements between Crazy Four Blades, Durdrak, and Ren, I kind of want to focus on these 3 and leave the other players up on a different screen in the background. We've done this before, and I think it's fair to do it in this one time because everybody else's placements I don't think will change much, if anything at all, for their tournament success. So it really is a story for those 3. So let me get them up here first and foremost. I think that's fair. And I think it's a better viewing experience for you guys. Please hold while I get that set up. And it looks like we are good to go. And I'll move this other multi-stream over and get this set up for all of the other runners to have their own section here. Yes. There we go. I'm going to move myself out of the way. Sorry that I'm blocking stuff. It's all part of the plan. Trust, all part of the plan. There we go. And there we go. Move the cursor off. Because these three right here mark the most influential placements going into this final bracket here. And my plan is to hopefully get a bracket match for you guys today. So if we can get a bracket match today, that'd be great. But it's all going to depend on the placements here. So. And I will say, if we don't get a bracket match today, we might be able to get a showcase between two players who are available, even if they're not playing each other right away. I could ask them if they want to do a like practice match. That's also a possibility. But yeah, as of right now, oops, get that there. Okay. I think Durdrak's in a decent spot, is the first to find Wolf and the first to find Leapstone, because those were in the second castle to begin with. So that might give Durdrak the movement advantage he needs to keep his first place position here going into the final bracket. Ren is definitely going to be trying his best to snipe that first place position so he can get first overall into the final bracket. That is definitely his goal. And Crazy Four Blades, in my mind, here in the bottom left-hand corner, kind of the unspoken underdog of the entirety of this tournament, has gotten second, third, second, fourth, yet to get a first place finish, but has been placing so well overall that he is still the top three. He's in the top three right now for the final bracket. So all three of these players have an outside shot at being first overall entering the final bracket. And you definitely want to get first place if you can. It's going to make your first round in the tournament a little bit easier going up against the 8th seed. So there is a real reward for getting first place going into the final bracket. Duplicator found for Ren, by the way. So this is one of the fun parts about this tournament, is one of the options in the randomizer is to guarantee that enemies will drop items. So you're seeing these players opt to kill a lot of enemies that you probably wouldn't see them kill otherwise, specifically for a chance at high-level gear. So finding a duplicator off of, I believe, the Harpies. Yep, we just saw another one drop here. So anybody who goes through Clock Tower and kills those Harpies will have a chance to find that duplicator because they are guaranteed to drop. That is one of the nice things about this setting is, like, yes, you're going to see more random drops from enemies, but everybody has the same chance to see those drops because they're guaranteed. The other side of the coin could be something like choosing to never have enemies drop items, but that's no fun. So this will mean, on average, the power level of these seeds is going to be higher. Players are going to find better gear most of the time, which also means, on average, it levels out. The difference between having Duplicator versus double Chrysogram, as far as damage goes, you know, is pretty negligible. Or if somebody finds Alucard Shield and Shield Rod, like the best item combo in the game, another player might find Duplicator and Buffalo Stars, which is another fantastic item combo for damage. So in the end, it could all even out, or players just kill the same enemies, find the same relics, find the same items, etc., etc. I really like this setting. This was a setting showcased by Eldritch in the most recent Tidbit tournament. Acronym stands for "This is definitely a bad idea" tournament, where he'll once a year go through all of the silly randomizer options that most people probably wouldn't consider for a tournament, test them out, and we have a fun time doing so. And honestly, I really liked the guaranteed drops from that tournament, which is why it's now added to my tournament. So shout outs to Eldritch. So speaking of important stuff here, Duplicator found for Crazy Four Blades. Like I said, he also went through the Clock Tower, and he too found the same Duplicator. Fair's fair. So long as you go through the Clock Tower and kill the same enemies as your opponent, you're guaranteed the same drops. So we've seen 2 Vlad relics so far. We've seen Holy Glasses for Durdrak and for Ren. And it looks like Ren said, you know what? I've done enough checks here in the first castle. I'm going to the second castle. Surely the next progression is going to be somewhere in the second castle. So I'm not sure what all checks Ren has done overall. But, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I'm not sure where Holy Glasses was, by the way, because we're seeing Crazy Four Blades with no Holy Glasses on his screen. So, interesting stuff. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to do this. Make the gameplay a little bit bigger for you guys and move it over. There we go. Now we're cooking. I'll move this down here. Nice. Huge. Some insane starting equipment. They seem to be doing well for themselves. And Ren's the first to enter the second castle from the first castle, outside of obviously starting in the second castle, as this tournament is one to do. So we'll see how Ren decides to handle this. He's going to find his leap stone here, which is nice. One of the things that does suck about being in the second castle here, by the way, is the fact that his movement options are Mist and Power of Mist, which is just not ideal when it comes to moving around vertically. Flying around in Mist and Power of Mist is very slow, generally. So getting Leapstone is nice here. We'll see if he finds other movement options available as well. Yeah, second castle with only Mist and Power of Mist does kind of suck, but sometimes the randomizer just wants you to do that. That's the intended way that the randomizer wants you to move around, because technically you can explore the entire castle with these movement options, so there's nothing stopping you from doing so. Alrighty. Ooh, Ren gets hit pretty hard here by the tombstones. The thing that sucks about the tombstones is they hit very hard and they have a very high defense value. And when they hit you, they inflict curse on you. And curse is a status that prevents you from using any like offensive moves except for your bare fist. So the only way that you can do damage is either by using spells or by punching. So it doesn't let you throw weapons. It doesn't let you swing weapons. Just your fist and spells. And Ren is now making his way to Medusa, which makes sense. This is kind of the standard route once you enter the second castle, for the most part, is you go from Darkwing Bat to Medusa, and you keep going around that way. And Ren is going to find that Soul Wolf that Durdrak has had up to this point. Yeah, it seems like all of them are like, you know what, there's nothing left in the first castle. I'm doing second castle now. And Ren was first in, Crazy second here in the bottom right-hand corner, and Durdrak here, third place so far entering the second castle. I'm going to take a quick peek on the other screen here to see how the other players are doing. They seem to be in various places doing various things, but these three are definitely looking to be the farthest into the seed so far, which is to be expected. I think these are the top three players who have entered this race so far. So I imagine some combination of first, second, and third is going to go between these three, which is why we're focusing in on their perspective. There we go. Now we're cooking, actually. Hold on. We are so back. We have cooked so hard. Am I not playing in the race? No, I am not playing in my own tournament. Generally, it is frowned upon to enter your own tournaments. Drak and Crazy are both going to the left. That is interesting. It makes sense for Durdrak, by the way, to go to the left because he's already done Medusa. Durdrak has already done Medusa, so it makes sense that he's choosing not to do it. Crazy Four Blades, on the other hand, unfortunately, he was entering the second castle before Durdrak, but the problem being he doesn't have the wolf relics. So with that in mind, Crazy Four Blades is slowly moving through this room, and already Durdrak is ahead of him. Durdrak is going to exit this room first. And that's all because of the difference in, what's it called? Movement options. The difference in movement options really do matter here. So now, this is an interesting situation between Durdrak and Ren. Crazy was going to do the same route as Durdrak, but slower, slightly slower. But now it comes down to, what is better? Is the left side of the second castle, where Durdrak is this going to have the progression item that he needs? Or is the right side going to have the progression item that he needs? Also, I think Durdrak still has his library card from the start of the seed. Modified right side could be the play. It's possible. This is the fun part of the randomizer, in my opinion, which is a little bit of gambling between left side and right side, but also which checks are you going to choose to skip? Which checks are you going to choose to do first? All these things matter a lot. Unfortunately, Durdrak gets clipped a little bit by the creature here, and Crazy Four Blades catches up just by having better damage, and the Rip Blat is found. Ooh. Uh-oh, Ren? Don't do this to me. Okay, thank God. I thought Brazil just had another fucking internet outage, or power outage, I should say. It's happened before. Shout outs to the power infrastructure of Brazil. But yeah, that is huge. This means left side is looking quite nice. But funny enough, Crazy Four Blades' additional damage buff had him entering this room first, but Durdrak has the movement advantage so long as he can capitalize on the wolf movement here. It's pretty tough to do, but you can do a wolf charge into a canceled high jump to move fast through these rooms. But if you cancel too slow, you either get like a slow jump like that, or you like bonk on the walls here. But yeah, just like that, Durdrak is catching up. Not taking advantage of the dash boots, though. Whereas Crazy Four Blades is fully taking advantage of the additional aerial movement that you get from the Godspeed shoes. But Crazy's also, I think what he's looking for is a library card, because he doesn't have his. He used his early, but he has the duplicator. Durdrak, I don't think, ever found the duplicator, but he has his library card from the start of the seed. So both of them are kind of like, neither of them have access to infinite library cards, which is obviously very strong. The ability to go to a distant part of the castle and then immediately warp to the first castle. You can plan your routes around it, and it becomes very important to do so. So Crazy Four Blades obviously wants a library card, but in doing so, he's slowing down, doing a lot of checks, killing a lot of enemies. Where Durdrak, he's like, well, I'm not going to look for a library card because I already have one. And it's like, what are the odds I find a duplicator? Pretty low, so I'm just going to keep going. Library cards were at the shop? Oh, they might not have had the money to buy them at the time then. Because Crazy Four Blades looks like he's looking for a library card because he has duplicator. So what else would he be looking for? Maybe a mana prism? But mana's not that big of a deal in this preset. Wolf movement is discounted mana. The Mist obviously has free mana associated with it as well. We'll see. Thank you, Uber Willow. Appreciate it. Yeah, front page has been a lot of fun so far. We've had some lovely people showing up who probably wouldn't have had the chance to see this otherwise. And I'm just happy to showcase my favorite game of all time for so many lovely people. Oh, the other thing Durdrak has is the snorkel as well. So he's able to do the underwater movement a little bit cleaner here. Yeah, the movement difference between Durdrak and Crazy Four Blades right now is huge, I want to say. The difference between having this wolf run ability and just having to walk the normal way, even with the Godspeed shoes, it's quite a bit slower. So Durdrak is going to slightly pull ahead here. And it looks like right side, by the way, Ren is all the way up to Beelzebub, and his tracker doesn't show me anything too out of the ordinary. I think he found nothing, actually. He found nothing. He's doing what is called a save split here, by the way. This is some advanced tech that we didn't get a chance to talk about in that last race. But by saving the game in a particular location, doing a relic check, and then resetting the game, what you're doing is you're essentially using your save locations as warp points to move around the castle a little bit faster if a location doesn't have anything of value. So Ren found there was nothing of value at Beelzebub, I'm just going to reset the game back to my save room because it's faster to go to the save room that way as opposed to backtracking with normal movement. It's advanced tech that happens all the time. But yeah, this right side is not looking too particularly amazing, but you know what is looking amazing? That Jewel of Open that Durdrak just found here. This relic is going to open up that second castle, or sorry, the first castle. The reason why the players left the first castle so early is because they had no access into the caverns. Normally you need the Jewel of Open to access the caverns. So now Durdrak has that available to him. Another thing that's important to note, Ren does not have that Rib of Vlad, and we know where the Rib of Vlad is. But because Ren decided to do this route, he is skipping Creature. This is a patented randomizer decision. When you're in the second castle, you tell yourself there is 5 checks left in the game at this point for Ren. He has Force of Echo, Doppelganger, Death, Galamoth, and Creature, 4 of which are all right next to each other. You have Force of Echo, Doppelganger, Death into Galamoth. Those 4 just flow naturally into each other. Creature, on the other hand, the odd one out, what are the odds? You have 5 checks left. 4 of them you're going to do really fast. 1 of them is a little slow. The odds are only, if you need a thing, you skip Creature because it's out of the way, and you have so much density on the other side that the math most of the time checks out. But it's a randomizer. And randomizers being random means that sometimes, about 25% of the time, 20% of the time, that's how math works. From that perspective, you still need to do Creature. So Creature is a bit of a meme in this community for that exact reason. Oftentimes players will want to just skip. And you know what else is a reasonable skip? Which is what Durdrak is doing right now. He is grabbing the Warp in case he needs to come back, but he's saying, you know what? I don't need to do Galamoth right now. If Durdrak wanted to continue this route, he would go up and do Galamoth, but he's telling himself, you know what? I just found Jewel of Open. I want to make real progression. I have 3 Vlad relics. There's only 1 random Vlad missing, and then what we call the final Vlad. In most randomizer presets, you're looking for what is called the final Vlad because it is the latest Vlad relic in progression. Most seeds finish on a Vlad relic, essentially, to get you into go mode. So Durdrak is telling himself, I'm missing final Vlad and I'm missing a random Vlad, which can be anywhere, right? So he's thinking to himself, Galamoth is 1 location versus all of the locations that I have yet to check in the caverns, as well as somewhere else, because he's going to a warp room right now. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going Silver Ring right now? I think he's doing Silver Ring first, which is very interesting, and then he's going to do Caverns afterwards. It's a bit of a risky play. Yes, that seems to be what he's doing. Okay. It's a bit of a risky play because there's more checks in the Caverns to do. Unless he never did any of the Allrox checks. He might have not done the Allrox checks as well, so maybe in his mind he's combining the Allrox boss fight into Echo of Bat location and the Sword Card location into Silver Ring. Those 3 flow really well together, so that could be his routing decision here. It's very possible. And it just Durdrak is just doing such a fantastic job utilizing this wolf movement. Moving this well in wolf is not as easy as it looks. Being able to control this little doggo, going full speed, jumps through the gap perfectly. I fail that every single time I try for it. It's tough. It's tough. Also, Crazy Four Blades, by the way, did end up using a library card to exit the second castle. So my thought process where I was like, Crazy Four Blades is looking for a library card is wrong, I guess? I don't know. Psh. Yeah, it's interesting that they decided to say, you know what, I'm going second castle without having done Allrox yet. Did none of them do Allrox yet? Very interesting. Imagine Silver Ring at Galamoth. That would be devastating, by the way. Because none of these players are doing it, by the way. All 3 of these players said, you know what, Galamoth, I don't need it. Which in my mind is probably the correct play. Except if I'm Ren, I'm thinking to myself, I haven't done Creature yet either. So he's leaving 2 checks on the table in the second castle. We'll see how that goes for him, but Jewel being bait is very rare. It can happen, though. It very much can happen. It's incredibly rare, but it can happen. It would have to be... No, Jewel can't be bait, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. In this scenario, it can't be. Jewel has to be something. The question is, does it lead to the location that you think it does? Because Jewel of Open locks Silver Ring, it locks Spike Breaker. The only other high complexity location missing... Oh, it also locks Holy Symbol. That's another high complexity location. The only one it doesn't lock is Holy Glasses, and I don't think there's enough checks in the game to have Holy Glasses be the final Vlad. Because there's a minimum number of steps that you need to do. Also, Durdrak doing a spell cancel invincibility to touch that blue door without the Spike Breaker. This gives him access to the Silver Ring location. Oh, it's not even randomized. Oh my God. It's not, the randomizer broke, guys. That was supposed to be a random item, but it was Silver Ring in the Silver Ring location? That's not random. That's what we in the randomizer business call vanilla. Race is invalid. Stop. Stop the presses. Quick. Oh my God. I can't believe it. But this Silver Ring Gambit from Durdrak is very powerful, by the way. Because the fact that he found Silver Ring there, this means that he bypassed the Spike Breaker in the intended logic for the randomizer. This is like a advanced high-level randomizer concept for Symphony of the Night in particular, or any randomizer that uses either a complexity step or spheres. I've heard it called spheres of complexity. The idea being the randomizer intends for the Silver Ring location to be unlocked once you have Jewel of Open, Form of Mist, and specifically Spike Breaker. Durdrak has the skills and the knowledge to know, well, I don't actually need Spike Breaker if I'm able to cancel the damage with a spell for invincibility. This lets me open the door without the Spike Breaker. It's fully allowed in this tournament, by the way. It is a glitchless interaction. It's not like broken or anything like that. It's just an advanced high-level tech. So with that skip, he now knows that, okay, Spike Breaker is somewhere in the game. It could be the next step in complexity, or it could be 4 steps from now. We don't know. But by skipping Spike Breaker and finding Silver Ring, it is very likely that he just found a way to bypass a lot of the other intended steps that the randomizer wants you to fulfill. For example, it could be something like finding Soul of Bat. Soul of Bat gets you to the Spike Breaker room. Spike Breaker being Spike Breaker. And then you use that to get to the Silver Ring, which then leads to... Or it just gives you Soul of Bat. I'm going to shut the hell up now. What? So it looks like the intended progression is you find Mist and Form of Mist. This gives you Flight. You then find Holy Glasses. You use those Holy Glasses to go back to the second castle. From the second castle, you find Jewel of Open. The Jewel of Open lets you go into the caverns. The caverns probably gives you Spike Breaker just somewhere in the caverns. Then you use the Spike Breaker to go to Silver Ring. Silver Ring plus Gold Ring, which they already had found earlier, just somewhere in the castle, just in a random location, unlocks the Holy Glasses location. The Holy Glasses location gives you Bat. The Bat location plus Echo of Bat, which they already have, is pointing to Spike Breaker being the final location. This is good news and bad news for anybody who skips Silver Ring, by the way. None of these players skip Silver Ring. I was going to say, if you happen to have skipped Silver Ring, it's not that big of a deal because you can still do the Spike Breaker check without Bat and Echo. We showcased that earlier on stream. The Spike Breaker location is very accessible. Even if you have just Mist and Power of Mist, you just use the invincibility from flying around in Mist form to get through the Spike Maze. It's very easy to do. But none of these players ended up skipping it. So I was going to say, like, you don't need Bat plus Echo to get to the Spike Breaker location. But on the bright side, getting Soul of Bat is great. I'm never going to complain about getting Soul of Bat. But yeah, Durdrak is in like soft go mode here. The only way that this is somehow bait is if... No, even Merman, I don't know if there's enough complexity steps in the game left for Merman Statue to get involved. Yeah, there's Spikebreaker. There's Spikebreaker. Okay, so Spikebreaker was just chilling in the caverns. That makes sense. So Durdrak now knows that most likely, well, actually, there is one thing that could come up for Durdrak to get in his way. That being Merman statue at Galamoth. It's possible. Merman statue could be at Galamoth. And the random Vlad that he is missing could be locked by Merman statue. It can happen. So if you want to think of the way that you win the game as like a step ladder, sometimes there's offshoots. Oh, never mind. Caught. Never mind. That's the random Vlad. That's guaranteed to be the random Vlad. Okay, so now Durdrak is in go mode. He knows exactly where the final Vlad is, and he's going to go right there. I imagine Durdrak is skipping everything and going straight to Spikebreaker. I was going to say there is a universe where that random, because the difference between the Vlad relic being at Scylla, or being at Holy Symbol is essentially they're the same. It's just as likely. The only difference is that there could be some little bits of like, you know, extra progress needed for some of those other locations. But yeah, it looks like all of these players have Soul of Bat, but Durdrak is just killing it right now. I think if he does finish this seed first, this guarantees him first place into the final bracket, which is pretty big. And he's playing it so well, genuinely. His movement's super clean. He got the wolf relics early. His decision-making to go left side in the second castle paid off immensely. He's doing this check for funsies, even though he technically doesn't have to do it, but I think he's looking for gravity boots. Because he still doesn't have gravity boots. And that would speed up his movement a little bit. So I think it's worth going out of your way like 10 seconds to check a relic. Just in case it's gravity boots. Because there's still some vertical movement left in the game. Gets hit by the big slime. Durdrak is putting on Spikebreaker, even though he is like the most well-known player for being able to do this spike room. He has put like 10,000 hours into. He can get through this spike room with like gravity boots and like a bundle of sticks. Durdrak has so many techniques in his back pocket for getting through that spike room, and he's like, I'm just gonna put the Spikebreaker on. I'm sorry. Merman statue! Okay, Merman statue did come up. I wasn't expecting that. Guy literally invented new ways to get through there. Yes. Durdrak is, as far as like advanced strategies goes, he's just someone who's put in the time and effort and has fun practicing the advanced tech. And by doing so, he's given himself a huge advantage in certain randomizer seeds. I respect the man who doesn't want to risk choking when he's ahead. That's fair, yeah. I mean, he doesn't know he's ahead. That's the fun part. These players are all unaware of what the other player is doing. The lack of information is important because in a randomizer race where all of the locations are randomized or whatever, you don't want players getting additional information from like the locations your opponent does, because that means you could just be like, oh, I don't need to go there. Unless you plan an entire tournament around it, which is what the most recent tournament from Eldritch was. The Tidbit 2 tournament did allow stream sniping. That was not only was it allowed, I think it was mandatory at one point. I think one of the early rounds, the players were like, I don't want to stream snipe. And Eldritch was like, no, you're gonna stream snipe. It's mandatory. Crazy skipped Scylla. Oh, I mean, I don't disagree with the decision making. He's thinking Scylla is just one check. I can do checks along the way that... Skipping Scylla, unironically, is not even that bad. Because in this one scenario, Crazy Four Blades is thinking, I can skip Scylla because I know the final Vlad is going to be at Spikebreaker. But he's going to find Merman statue at Spikebreaker, which means he's going to have to come back to this location where Durdrak is, which is right next to Scylla. He has 2 chances to find it. So he's fine. Unironically, this route isn't even bad. And maybe that's his thought process, actually. What if Crazy is thinking, I don't need to do Scylla now because he's done the math and he knows that Merman statue has to be here. It's possible. I believe the minimum complexity count, the number of steps you have to achieve before the seed is considered completable for Chimera is 8. So it's very possible that he counted the number of progression steps and got to 7 at Spikebreaker. So he knows that Spikebreaker can't be the final Vlad, and instead it has to be Merman Statue, because that's the last thing left on the table to possibly lead to progression. So he's thinking to himself, well, I don't have to do the check now, because I can just do it on the way back. If that was his thought process, he's a genius. Unfortunately, he's still behind Durdrak. But he also is doing quite nice in the grand scheme of things because he has the Rib of Vlad where Ren does not. So, this is getting spicy. But yeah, Durdrak finds the final Vlad, is in go mode. He never even found the duplicator, I think. Yeah. The guy who didn't find the duplicator, best item in the game, by the way, is in the lead by a lot. This is looking free for Durdrak, which honestly, I'm not surprised by. Durdrak won my most recent tournament, the Randomizer Bingo tournament that we did last year, which was a lot of fun. I think Durdrak has done very well in other tournaments as well. You're on the front page. I know. What up, Vi? How you doing? Yeah, front page has been fun. We've had a lot of very nice folks come by, asking some questions, and we're showcasing some of the best randomizer tournament action this game has to offer. How have I been? I've been great. Hope you've been well as well. Shout out to everybody watching on the front page.
That's my new catchphrase. Jizz it up, streamer.
That is my new catchphrase. Yep. It's not that new. It's been around for a while, but that is my new catchphrase. That is correct. Thank you, young Verticus for the 9 months and the Prime sub. I'm not going to say it again, but primers, at any point, you can indeed rise up. It is possible. By using your Prime sub, you can rage against the machine that is Jeffrey Bezos by taking $2.50 directly out of his pocket and giving it to me. Just like Garu Ken did with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. They don't roll over, so if you don't want to use it on me, this could be a reminder to use it on Pokimane or whoever else you watch. That's perfectly fine. Feel free to do so. But they don't roll over, so if it's available, you should use it at the very least. It's free money. And you don't have to watch. It gives you ad-free viewing experience, which is nice. Thank you, Todd, by the way, for the 5 gifted subs. If you just got gifted a sub, that's pretty dope. Post your favorite Dragon Blitz emote in chat now.
That didn't count? You're smoking my penis right now.
Player 2. I'm glad that I'm on the front page and we get to hear all of the sub alerts. Is that what you guys are doing? Are you trying to embarrass me in front of the front page? To hear all of the dumb things I've said on stream that have turned into sub alerts? Because it's working. I'm a little embarrassed. Thank you, Player 2, for the sub. I appreciate it. No, we're not trying to embarrass the streamer. Also, by the way, Crazy Four Blades did do the thing while I was getting flustered. He did actually go back and kill Scylla.
Stop talking to me!
Oh my god.
I'm going to save the game a lot because stop talking to me!
Dark Falls, thank you for the Prime sub. Just in time to watch Durdrak finish with a very, very fast time of... This is going to be a sub 45-minute speedrun for the randomized playthrough of Symphony of the Night, Chimera, preset. You love to see it.
That didn't count? You're smoking my penis right now.
Is that the X Mr. Grog X? That's just a really funny username. Thank you for the Prime. And Durdrak is using one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. This is the Girthang. He's got that girthy thing on him. The Girthang does allow him to increase his damage and hitbox by using the Dark Metamorphosis spell. It's the only weapon in the game that I'm aware of that has 2 different states based off of which spells you've used. So for whatever reason, it is a bloodthirsty sword, as I think the description. So by using Dark Metamorphosis, it just increases the damage potential of the sword by, I think, like 2.25 times or something like that. And he's using that very powerful weapon to his advantage. Short hop, double slash, all over Dracula. And just over 45 minutes here. This should be close to a one cycle. There it is. 45.03. Durdrak is the first place finisher here. GG's. First place, basically guaranteeing, I believe, first place into the final bracket here. However, it's not over. It's definitely not over. Because I believe between these two, Crazy Four Blades and Ren, second place is up for grabs. I think getting the second seed here is up for grabs. I'd have to do the math on it. But Crazy Four Blades has a potential of changing his fourth place placement to a second place placement, which would give him plus 2 points to his current standing. And if he added 2 points to his current standing, Crazy Four Blades would have 33 total points. Ren has the potential to gain from... he could theoretically get second place. It's probably not going to happen because Crazy Four Blades is in go mode. But he theoretically could get second place because he is dealing with second, third, fourth, fifth place. So he has the potential to gain 2 points if he gets third place, which seems relatively likely based off of all of this stuff here. And if he gets third place, I believe he gains 2 points, which would put him tied for first, I think? Is that correct? Wait. Did I see this correctly? No. Because Durdrak gets 2 points. Never mind. Everything's fine. Why did I have to make the most complicated point system of all time? It's fine. Everything's fine. Durdrak definitely wins because I think he's sitting at 36 total points. Ren is sitting at 32 right now. Crazy's sitting at 31, and they each have the potential to gain 2 points. So I think if Ren finishes third place, he gets... second place? I don't know. I'll do the math later. Have we checked in on the others? I have them up on another monitor over here. And as of right now, I think we had 2 DQs. Sestrin's still in it. Alex is still in it. But none of them, I believe, have found Soul of Bat. So the main difference is these players have yet to find Soul of Bat. So with that in mind, they're still missing Vlad relics. They're still missing some progression here and there. Whereas Crazy Four Blades and Ren definitely are the most have done the most as far as progression goes. Am I using a Gauss curve for the points? I'm essentially using like a GP system. So first place gets 8 total points. Second place gets 7. Third gets 6, etc. So your placements start, if you get first place, you get 8 points. For every placement under that, you lose 1 point. And we're doing 10 total races. This is race number 10. Each preset was showcased twice. And because not everybody's schedules were going to line up to be able to do all of the races, the plan was to make it a little bit more fair. Only 1 race per preset would count towards your final points, and it would be whatever your best placement is. So because these players have already played Chimera before, they have a base level of points for Chimera. However, if they placed better this time around, they can increase their points by a certain amount. So for example, Crazy Four Blades' best performance previously was... I have it written down here. Fourth place in the Chimera race. So now he's getting a better placement this time around, getting second place, which moves him up plus 2 points. Because before he got, what is that? 8, 7, 6. He got 5 points, but now he's going to get 7 points for this particular race. So that's a change in 2 points. I'm keeping track of everything on a Google document as well.
That's my new catchphrase. Jizz it up,
So
streamer.
it's been a little chaotic, but it's been a lot of fun to keep track of. That's for sure. Shout out to the new catchphrase. Ooh. There it is. Sorry, what was that? 5 gifted from Yo, I'm Chris. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. If you just got gifted a subscription, shout outs to you. And shout outs to Crazy 4 Blades with the second place finish of just under 50 minutes. So yeah, Durdrak had a very, very solid time. And Ren finds the final Vlad. His decision to skip Creature, unfortunately, ended up biting him in the ass a little bit here. Yeah, Durdrak's route was just very, very solid. He found everything that he needed to find when he needed to find it. And that gave him quite the advantage. GG's. But we still have some other competitors working their way through the seed here. I'm going to try and get everybody's perspectives online here. Catch in and see what we missed so far. Just going to take 1 second here and blammo. We're so freaking back. Oh, don't give me my freaking... Get out of here. Streaming is so hard. It's definitely harder than a 9 to 5, Copium. No, trust me, my job is so hard. I get to watch people play video games and play video games all day. My job's really hard. Not the prawn folder. Ah! And then all I need to do is do that. And then we're so back. And Ren is finishing up the seed right now. Wait, Mott clipped out of bounds? Huh? Did anybody see that? I wasn't looking. Why did Mottzilla clip out of bounds? How did that happen? He did a wolf clip? Dude, that's crazy. That's really funny. Oh, but it's also really sad because that's a soft lock. Where did he wolf clip? He was in the first castle. How much progress did he lose? What? I look away for 2 seconds. Was he in the first castle? I think. I don't know where he was. I'm lost. Damn. He was in First Castle Caverns. Yeah. Dude. Wait, then why is he fighting? Oh, because he must have done a save split to skip? Here? Because then why else is he fighting Galamoth? Because we know Galamoth is nothing. But, like... You think he was above Doppelganger 40? Was he? I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest. All I know is I saw him out of bounds, and it was wild, and I don't know why he's fighting Galamoth. He might have forgotten, maybe. Because honestly, that is a... Yeah, he's library carding now. Does he think he has to kill all the bosses? Is that why? Because he's library... I don't know. Did y'all like the Scylla skip? Yes. We were freaking out about it crazy. We were like, no, he skipped Scylla! Whatever will we do? Did you do the complexity count to know that it had to be Merman statue? Or did you say, fuck it, we ball? Because if you said, we ball, I respect it. But also if you counted, you calculated Merman was there, okay. So a little bit nerdy, and for that, you do lose points for being a nerd. However, I'm joking. That was really cool. Because we were freaking out. We were like, oh no! Whatever will we do? Turns out you had it all under control. GG's. So we do have our top 3 finishers here, and I believe these 3 are the ones that had the potential to dictate placements here. I believe after all of this, Durdrak will be our first seed. I believe Ren ends up being the second seed. I'm going to have to double check the point distribution to be 100% sure. And then I think Crazy is the third seed, but I will have to calculate all this and double check. In the meantime, however, I've been drinking a ton of water to save my voice. So this is probably where I'm going to sign off for the YouTube video. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. I'm going to go run to the bathroom, and we'll see you in the next one, YouTube. Have a good one. Bye-bye.